Now, when looking for a house in Nairobi or in Kenya, there are things, very important things to ignore, and you later come to regret. When you're looking for a house, there are very small, detailed things you have to look for. You have to examine, you have to note before renting it. Now, let me tell you, by the end of this video, you'll know the mistakes you made or you're going to make in looking for a house. So if you want to look for a house to rent, here are the important things to note, factors to consider. The first one is the price of that house. Is it worth your money? You cannot pay 50,000 for a house which has got toilets, has got latrines, no toilet, where there is no water. So the price of the house, and look at the pocket, your income, your salary. If you are earning 100,000, look for a house, rent should be around 15,000 to 20,000, at most 25,000. If you are earning something like 30,000, you should look for a house, rent is maximum 6,000. That is okay. So price is important. The second thing are rules in that house. There are houses you are told you should not bring different girlfriends here. You only want to see one girlfriend. So if you bring another one, you'll ask why. There are houses they will tell you you should not live here more than 3 people in this house. There are houses they are told I don't like loud music. Other houses are told you cannot come here beyond 11 p.m. So when you are looking for a house, first ask for the rules so that not to be shocked when you finally enter. Another thing is the deposit and goodwill. If you are renting a house for business, ask whether they charge goodwill and how they will return the goodwill when you relocate, so that you agree. Another thing is deposit. Now there are houses they don't charge deposit, others 3 months, others 6 months, others 2 months. That one is also very important, because some people will charge you a deposit of 6 months. When you are finally relocating, they refuse to give you the money. So when they charge deposit or goodwill, make sure you sign an agreement. In case they default, you move to court. Imagine a house paying rent of 120,000 and deposit 3 months, that is 360,000, and someone decides to go with the money, to refuse to give you. It's very painful. Another thing, you should know where and why the previous tenant moved from that house. It is very, very, very important. Maybe thieves came there and killed him or her. Maybe there are some spirits there. It's a haunted room. So you have to know. Very important. Another thing are hidden charges. You should ask those ones who are there. who live there. Are there any hidden charges apart from what you are paid here? Even when you're entering the house, you are told to pay welfare money. They have a welfare, and they pay 1,000 or 2,000 per month. You're going to pay for extra charges for electricity if you use beyond this, water if you use beyond this. Yes, things like those. Another thing is the availability of security and water. How many times do you receive water per week? So to get clear information, don't ask the landlord or the agent. Ask those ones living there. How many times do you get water here? What about electricity? How often do you get blackout? So once they tell you, then you can make your own conclusions. Another thing is where the toilet and bathroom are facing. The location. There are houses where the bathroom and the toilet are facing the sitting room or kitchen. Sana kitchen, sitting room. So that when you are inside, and in bad luck the door is open, then they see everything. Those sitting at the sitting room or dining room. So we must check on that. Another one is the space and the finishing. Nobody will want to pay a lot of money for shoddy work. So you have to look at the space of that house. Is it enough for your items? Does it meet the standards for your money? Yeah, that is a very important thing. Another thing is closeness to the road. How close it is to the road. Sometimes you might go for evening classes and you are returning to your home at 11 p.m. Is it safe? So if it's closer to the road, then that might be somehow safe. So how safe is that area? So proximity to the road is very important, especially in Nairobi. Security is very important. And then another one is physical amenities. Physical amenities like schools, hospitals. You might get sick at night at 12 a.m. Will you be able to reach hospital? You might find that you have a large family. Now, are there schools around? Just check first. Because when you are relocating to a new house, it is also very difficult to move from that house soonest. It takes time. Apart from that, you have to, if you are living especially in big towns, you have to check how far it is from your workplace. You cannot live in an area where you are spending 500 shillings per day. Fare. You're commuting, spending 500, and on the road to work 2 hours or 3 hours, back 3 hours. Hey, that is hectic. That is hectic. Another one is parking space. Very important. Parking space. If you have a car, it matters a lot. Even if you don't have, one day you might have visitors who need parking. You might buy your own car. Parking space is very important also. The quality of the building is also very important. especially in Eastlands, you might find the foundation is not strong enough. And surprisingly, they are very cheap. Find a 1-bedroom house, 6,000, but others around are charging 15,000. Then you rush because you find you are happy it's cheap, but not knowing that that house, the foundation is not strong, and it might kill you anytime. It might collapse anytime. Another important factor to consider is the relationship between the landlord or agent and the tenants. It's not always that you have money. It's not always. There are times you may go broke. The salaries can be delayed. Now, in case you don't pay in time, how will they treat you? Will they throw your things outside? A very important thing, very important, more important than anything. There are landlords who are very lenient. They can leave you to stay there for even 6 months without paying. So that's a factor. So when you go there to ask for a house to rent, also ask the tenants, mwenye anakaa aje? Does he harass tenants? Or ni mzuri? What about agents? When you get a clear picture, then, and you can even sense, there are houses where people live every month. They don't stay. Find a very good house, a decent house. You go inside, you find it's very clean, neat. But out of 20 houses, 17 are empty. And that house is not even new, but is good. Ask yourself why. Why? Another important thing you should consider are the tenants who live there. You might be having a very large family. You might be having, what you want is quietness, a quiet place. But you rent a house where only students live. Very loud noise. They're rowdy. They can steal from you. So you have to check the type of people who live in that area. And finally, check about the cleanliness, drainage system. Yeah, those people and those things, and also the shopping center. Where is it located? Will you get products so easily? Yeah, those are things that also matter. So, if you have ever looked for a house, in Kenya, you can comment below and also add more details on what you look for when you want to rent a house